Welcome to Behind the Camera Podcast, a podcast for teens. I'm your host, Annie Flores.
I'm your co-host, Anissa.
And today we have Jocelyn Arredondo in the studio with us. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi.
Thank you for being in the studio today. Jocelyn is going to be leaving us, and she's going to LSU, right? Mm-hmm. As you can see from her shirt. Let show us your sweatshirt. It's so cute.
We need the OOTD.
We do need the OOTD.
I'm wearing the sweatshirt. It's from there, obviously. These are airy, and I'm wearing purple dunks.
Yes.
Very nice.
To match the aesthetic going on.
So are you loving the colors of the school?
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like the colors. It's really,
what was that? Like, did you like purple before?
Purple is my favorite color. So
there you go.
Yeah.
I just heard you gulping.
Oh, did you? Okay, I'm not going to drink anything else while I'm on the podcast.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so the reason we brought Jocelyn into the studio is because, of course, she's leaving. And I feel like that's something that maybe we don't really think about enough is the whole like leaving home process. So like we always say like, oh yeah, like he's leaving to college or she's leaving to college. And we don't really think about like all the moving parts that are behind that. Like not only the moving parts, but like the emotions behind it and the thought process behind it. And like, we're going to really like unpack all of it. So thank you, Jocelyn, for coming in to talk about your experience. So how are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling good so far. I don't think it's fully hit me that I'm leaving, but it comes in waves. Sometimes it's kind of, it mostly come like when I'm with my friends and then it just kind of like comes out of nowhere and I just get emotional.
Oh, is anyone else going near you? Like any of your friends?
Near me? No.
Like, not even like a drive away? Like a 4-hour drive?
No.
No.
Because really, what's in Louisiana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like Louisiana's kind of closer to Texas. I mean, if you think about it. But I don't know how far.
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour drive from Houston, but it's still like kind of far. I don't know anybody that's going to Houston. So...
Well, maybe you'll make friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we started the podcast, she was actually telling me about the people that she met over there.
Oh, for
already. I have like a couple of friends. Yeah. My roommates. And then I met a girl. Her name's Sophia at orientation. She's really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love orientation friends. Because like, even if you're not like close to them throughout the year, like they're still there and you know that you still have them. So it's cool.
They're really nice. It's a good environment.
Oh, so when do you think it's going to hit you?
When I'm alone in my dorm. I feel like that's when it'll like fully hit me, I think, because there's no one there anymore and it's just me and my roommate.
I know. That's the hardest part. Like for me, as like a parent that dropped off a kid, like driving home without her is like really like that's going to be hard for your parents. I think so.
Especially for my mom. Me and my mom are really close. Like, it's just the two of us in the house. And it's like, I can't picture myself without my mom for 4 years. So it's weird to think about. But I think I'll be okay. But I just know it's going to be really hard for her to, like.
Is she already planning to go visit you a lot? Or yeah, well,
she already planned family week.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's good.
It's on September 20th, I think. Yeah. So she's already planning to go. She's like, okay, we're going. It's like, okay.
And do you want to do any extracurricular things out there to kind of like keep your mind busy so you're not as emotional?
Yeah, when I was at orientation, there's sororities that came up to me asking to join. And I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. Yeah. Like, why not? I love like sisterhood. Like I love being a part of a sisterhood. So I think I would want to try.
And it's also a good thing because it's at the beginning of the year where you're just like, that's when it might hit you, you know, being away from home. But having something like that will kind of keep your mind busy. Besides school, obviously, right? Stressing everyone out.
For us, our move-in is a week before classes starts for freshmen.
Oh,
so
okay.
They have like a whole welcome week for us. So it's kind of just the freshmen. Yeah. And it's just kind of us. So I have a whole week to just be there, reflect.
Stare at the wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, wow. Are you like, which part of saying goodbye do you think is going to be the hardest? Like, you think that'll be like your mom, your friends?
My mom and my brother. Me and my brother are really close. It's just the two of us. It's me and my brother.
Is he older or younger?
Yeah, he's older. My brother's 3 years older than me. And when he left for work, it was probably like, it was the hardest thing ever. I was so sad.
You are so
and that's
close.
like, he wasn't even that far. So like for me, I feel like it's gonna be so much harder. He doesn't seem like emotional about it, but like I know he is, because my sister-in-law would tell me, she's like, he says he's gonna miss you and all this stuff. I was like, well, I know I'm gonna miss him too, trust me.
Starts crying.
I know.
I know. What do you think is gonna be the hardest thing for you to leave behind?
My dogs.
Oh my
yeah.
god!
I love my dogs.
Yes.
I love my dogs. They're always with me.
And I feel like they're not going to understand where you are.
I know. I feel like they're gonna think I'm like betrayed them or something, and be like, no, I didn't. I'm sorry.
I think you should just take them with you.
Right.
I know.
Get an apartment.
After the first year, get an apartment.
So, like, Anissa, what was like when you moved into your dorm? How was that first few days?
It was weird. But I did have cheer practices to like keep me busy. But like the same thing, like once you're in the room alone, you're like, oh, like leaving here with my car packed up, I felt good. I was like, okay, bye everyone. Like, bye Valley. I really didn't care. And then once I got there, we unpacked everything. I said my goodbye. She started crying. And I was like, oh, Mom, stop crying. Like, you're so annoying. Like, you're embarrassing me, right? Like, typical teenager.
Yeah.
Like, get out, Mom. And then they left. And like 30 minutes later, my stepdad sent me a video of her still crying. So I was like, oh my gosh. So then I get up to her room and I just like, I feel bad. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have came. But then it went away.
Yeah.
You know, once you start school, you start meeting people, you start becoming busy. And then she sees, like, your parents are going to see that you're fine. They're like, okay, it's good for her. Because also you want to see them grow as a person. And I feel like if I would have stayed here, I wouldn't have been the person that I am today, because I was able to adventure out, like deal with life struggles on my own rather than being here with my parents. And I'm not saying she would baby me, because she probably wouldn't. That's just how she is. But you never know with the environment. Like, I would have just been sheltered at home the whole time. You know what I mean? So it's a win. It's a win, but like it does have its cons. But it's something to adjust to. Honestly, a lot of people adjust really well. And I think you'll be fine, especially if you're like, you want to do this. You know, you're happy. Like, you're excited. It's different if like your mom's forcing you to go and they're like, good luck. And you're like, I don't want to leave. Then that's when it's really going to hurt.
Or like if you're going to a school that you don't want to go to. LSU, is that your dream school?
It has been since I think 8th grade. It's always been like my top choice.
So it's like exciting for you. So what's something that you're like, what's something that you're nervous about that maybe you don't want to admit you're nervous about?
Being alone. I think, I've always had somebody kind of like to lean onto and like talk to for everything. Like, first it was my mom, and then my sister-in-law moved in, and she became like my best friend, and I would tell her everything. And I feel like without them, I'm going to have to find like a new support system that's like kind of there for me, with them being so far
like
away.
Physically there.
Yeah. Because they're going to be 10 hours away. Like, it's really different.
Yeah.
I can always call, but it's not the same. Like, it's not.
And they're not going to be able to just jump in the car and like
And
be
leave.
there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they might be able to jump in the car, but it's going to take 10 hours
to get there.
So like, it's a big drive. So, are there any like things that you're afraid of?
No, I don't think I'm really afraid of everything. I think it's all just kind of like mental. That's like pushing me to want to stay, but I know I want to leave. But there's just sometimes where it's just like, oh, like, I don't know if I want to do this
What's
anymore.
making you want to stay?
I have a niece, and she's only 9 months right now, and she's really attached like to me, and obviously me too. And there's another one on the way, and she's born when I'm gone. And I feel like that's going to be the hardest thing ever, because when my niece was born, I was there in the hospital. And like, I'm just going to have to see it over the phone, and like missing like the big family events for me, they're going to be really difficult. I'm going to miss my niece's birthday, which is on September 12th. And I'm going to be over there. Like it's, I think losing the family aspect there is probably the hard, like what I'm afraid of. Yeah.
I know, because I think in the first like semester, or I would say even the first year, that's like the hardest for everybody, because you're adjusting and then you're missing your family, and it's so easy to just come back, you know? So like, I think like that's, if you can push through the first year and like get past it or get through it, I think the next 3 years after that are going to be like, okay. Yeah, like you're going to already be established with like friend groups and like, you know, you're going to know the university really well and all that stuff. And then I think it's going to be a little bit better for you. So yeah, that's what I think you should just tell yourself. Like, I just need to push through it. And the breaks come up
fast too. Yeah. Like, that's the good part. Like, that's literally what we were telling Jenna too. Because like Jenna was like, oh, like like she's the same with her family, like super close. And we were kind of just reminding her like, hey, there's going to be breaks. Like, you have Thanksgiving comes by super fast, and then spring break too. And I'm sure you're going to come down for the summer, right? Yeah. You're not planning to stay unless you like live there full time. But that's always something to look forward to. But also adventuring out, because I feel like in your family's eyes, them seeing you come back as a different person is kind of it's a weird feeling, but it's a good feeling, because like, you know, you did everything the right way, and you know, maybe not everything was done right in everyone's eyes, right? But it develops you as a person, and I feel like that's gonna make them feel better, and they're gonna see, okay, like it is worth it, you know, like it sucks in the moment, but seeing you adventure out and, you know, become a good person or better person or grow, it's in a way out, I feel like.
Yeah.
So that's something.
So like, tell us about your thought process, like choosing that university. Like, I know it was your dream school, but I feel like it takes a lot more like,
yeah,
you know, thought process to it. Yeah.
I applied to Texas State, University of Houston, UTRGV, obviously there, and I think one more school. I don't remember. But for the other schools, they only had psychology, and at LSU, they had forensic psychology, which I really wanted to do. And I got accepted into the major that I wanted. And that was like my first, like, okay, yeah. And then it was just kind of like the ball kept rolling that way, and it never kind of went back. There was this one moment where I was like, no, I'm going to go to Texas State. I'm going to go to Texas State. My best friend since elementary school, she's going. We're going to room together. And I kind of was just like, no, like, I'm leaving, but I don't want to go there. Like, if I'm going to leave, I'm going to want to go somewhere that I really see myself at, like where I've always wanted to go, what seemed right for me. And Texas State just didn't feel like the right fit. And so I just kind of had a conversation with my parents, and I was like, I can't go there. I was like, I don't want to. And we all just kind of decided that I was like, okay, it's like, you're going to go. And that's kind of what happened.
So can you tell us what it was about Texas State? Like, what gave you that feeling of like, it's not for me?
I had visited one time, not really like the university in itself, but like the area. And I really couldn't see myself there. I don't know. There was something about it where I couldn't see myself having fun or anything. And well, multiple of my friends, like older than me, have gone and they had a good experience. But I didn't think it was the right fit for me. I don't know why. It was just kind of a feeling that I had that I was just like, I can't go there. It was a gut feeling.
Like, do you think it was like the people, the culture, or do you think it was the actual location, like of where it was at?
I think maybe the location, not the people. I'm really a people person. I love people. And I just think when I went to visit Louisiana my junior year in May, I just kind of fell in love with it, and I really couldn't fall in love with any other university like I did.
So like
there.
you were like,
she had that in the back of her mind.
Like you were subconsciously comparing it to,
but like without myself knowing, I didn't know that I was comparing all the other universities until I finally chose, and I was like, oh, I was like, sorry.
Yeah. So you're so then you already knew that you wanted to go to Louisiana, but did you already kind of know the distance of how far it was going to be?
Yes, because my brother and my dad had went to go work in Louisiana for my uncle, and we had went to go visit them, and the drive it sucked. But that's when I kind of like, oh, the distance. And then I went again for Destination LSU, which was just to see the campus, to like kind of show like your parents like what you want like to do and everything. That's when I was like, well, it's far, but if you really think it's not that far, if you cut it in half, like it's 5 hours from here to Houston.
Justifying everything.
And then like 4 hours from Houston over there. Like if you break it up in your head, it's not that bad. And I just kind of, the drive is also really nice. It's a lot of big trees. It's a good scenery. So it's not like boring.
Yeah.
You know?
Like from here to San Antonio.
Yeah.
I hate that drive.
Yeah,
I hate that drive. So like, tell us how your parents reacted when you told them you wanted to go there.
Ooh. With my mom, it was not good.
Really?
It was at first, no. Me and my mom had a really big argument about it. And I guess we were both really emotional that she didn't want to see me leave and I wanted to leave. And it was just kind of like emotion. It was really an emotional argument. And I went to my dad's house and I had a conversation with my dad about it. And he was like, well, if that's where you want to go, like, we're going to have to support your dreams and everything. And it took me like 2 more weeks until I bought a little cheesecake, which is my mom's favorite. And I wore this skirt with a yellow shirt. And I gave her the cheesecake and it said going LSU. And my sister-in-law decorated it. And that's how I told my mom that that's where I decided to go.
That you were going.
With the cheesecake. And she started crying. And she was like, so this is actually where you're going? And I was like, yes. I was like, I made my decision. And she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna support you for it.
So like those 2 weeks that you all like had the argument and then up to when you told her, how was that for you guys? Like, was it okay?
It was okay. I never brought it up until I told her. I was just kind of like contemplating like Louisiana, Texas State.
Like you wanted to be sure that that's really where you wanted to go.
I was looking at everything on Texas State. I was reading all the websites. I read all the websites on Louisiana. And I couldn't pull myself away from it, knowing that it was so close and like in my grasp. Like I was accepted for my major. Like I met friends, I met people there already. And the only person I knew like closely that was going to Texas State was my best friend for however many years. And it was just like, I also want to get away. Like I also want to start fresh. I want to get to know new people and have new relationships. And I think all of that was kind of like coming into play during the 2 weeks where I was like thinking about it. I was like, no, I can't do this. And yes, I can. And I think ultimately like the whole school, like just I kind of like couldn't unfall in love with it. I couldn't fall out of love with it. So I just went with what I wanted.
And with your major, so you already have your associate's degree with SCC? Oh, okay. So
it doesn't transfer.
Oh no!
Like I didn't get my associates, but none of my college credits transfer.
That's
really
crazy.
Nothing. Wow.
And why is that? Is it just like
it's
a weird little
different
thing?
State.
Oh.
So you're starting completely from scratch.
That's crazy.
I had to take placement tests for math and writing and everything to figure out where I was going to be.
Was that kind of like a con into going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was because with SCC, I did a bunch of criminal courses for my major because I already knew what I wanted in my major. It never changed. And so I was like, oh, like I'm going to stay here in Texas, blah, blah, blah. Until like my junior year was kind of like, I kind of want to leave.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
With all your credits just sitting there.
I know.
I was like, oh.
Your transcripts just watching you leave
I
to
know.
another state.
They're like, really, girl, all that stress for what?
I know.
We went through so much together, only for you to leave.
It was the worst.
And what is your major? Like, what do you want to do with your major?
I want to be a forensic psychologist. I want to work with the behavior analysis unit with the FBI. That's kind of like my biggest dream. But you have to get your doctorate for it, which I wouldn't mind. Like 8-10 more years of school. But it's just kind of like hard. It's harder for that position of work. But even if I don't get like my dream job, I could still be a psychologist because it comes into play. Or I can work for police stations, being their forensic psychologist for like all the other people that have something wrong with them.
And I know you were saying that out of all the schools, that was the only one that had that major.
It was the only one that had like that exact major.
So do you think it was kind of just like a sign?
Yeah.
Like it was just all falling in the stars like for you?
I was going and I was looking and like Houston psychology, Texas State psychology, UTV psychology, none of it had like forensic psychology. I had to like minor in forensics, which kind of was like, and when I applied to Louisiana, like it said forensic psychology. I was like, oh,
yeah, that's what you want.
I was like, that's what I wanted. So I chose it as my first one, and I got the email that like my admission status had changed, and then I got in and it said for forensic psychology. And I was like, oh my gosh.
You're like, okay, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going. What are you doing to prepare? Like, not just physically prepare, but like mentally, emotionally. Are you doing things to help you with that, like leaving?
It sounds bad, but I think right now I haven't really hung out with any of my friends. But I think I'm kind of pushing myself away because I don't want to say goodbye. And it's kind of bad, but I know I want to hang out with them. I do, but like it's so emotional for me to like to do it because I just think about like, oh, I'm leaving. Especially with like the freshmen that I took under my wing like my senior year. It's so sad. Like they call me all the time and I'm on the phone with them, and like there'll be times I just start crying because I just like I feel sad that I'm like leaving them behind. And obviously like Danny and Anna, like my best friends, and me and Danny have had like the hardest conversations ever with each other because like we're both leaving and we're both leaving Anna, and it's the worst. It's the worst feeling
because Anna's barely a senior. She's gonna be a senior. In case people that don't know who Anna is.
Is that one our rep?
Yeah, she's one of the reps for year 6.
Yeah.
So Anna's a senior. She's staying behind in high school. And you guys are going. Hey, so how far is Daniela going to be from you? Because she's going to Odessa.
Me and Danny are going to be 11 hours away from each other.
Oh my gosh.
How?
That's further from here.
Yeah, that's Danny's so on weird. The other side of Texas.
Yeah, she's over there in West Texas. Like,
that's crazy how
she's
Texas
closer
works.
to like New Mexico and like over there.
I think it's around 11 hours away from each other.
Oh man, I don't know why I was thinking y'all were gonna be like within like a drive.
We checked like one day. We're like, what? I think when we were leaving your shoot, the shoot that we had together, we were leaving and we looked and we're like,
wow, that's like, really far. That's really far.
And she's doing dance, right?
Yes.
So you don't think she'll be like? Well, I don't know if they travel or what they do.
I know they're going to Vegas during the summer for camp.
I wonder if they'll ever be at LSU for anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because LSU is a really big university. Like it's, you know,
they have a really good dance team. That's also what.
Well, they have like an amazing dance team.
I love their dance.
That's why I wonder, like, if LSU ever hosts like anything where Danny's team will go.
Hopefully,
right?
She can stay in my dorm.
If she visits, y'all need to post so I could see.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of get what you mean though, like not hanging out with the friends. Like you're kind of creating a distance already. That way it's not hard when it comes down to it.
Off.
And I tend to do that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of my worst traits that I have. I tend to like always
defense mechanism to protect your heart. Yeah. Yeah. That's how it is. So as far as like making new friends, like what are some of like maybe like the traits you're looking in other people, or like what kind of friends are you going to try to make? Or you're just like open to everything?
Yeah, I'm pretty open to everyone as long as they don't have any like bad intentions. I'm a really nice person. I tend to just like gravitate to people. People gravitate to me. It's just kind of I like everybody. Like it's really hard for me to not like somebody. So it's just.
Is that university safe? It is.
They have I have an app on my phone. It's LSU Shield, and it's kind of like if your tire goes out, if you need police assistance, if you need to call 911, like you just push with the button, and you can add your emergency contacts to it, and it'll let them know that you started walking from this location and you're gonna go to this location. If you don't meet it in like a certain time, it'll text them. And let them know to like.
Wow, that's good.
Check on you.
To like call me or check on me. Or,
Wow.
I think it's really cool. I learned that at orientation. That they made us download the app, and they're like, okay, this is how you use it, and then this is what it's for. And it was really nice. I really liked it.
Especially if it's a big campus. Like it's like a major. Like,
So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
So has your mom ever told you like the reason why she didn't want you to leave?
No.
She just wanted you here?
She just wanted me close.
But was she okay with you going to like San Antonio or like, oh, she just didn't want you out of state?
Yeah, she didn't want me far.
That's tough.
She was talking about the cons, like if you need anything, if you go to the hospital, like we're not so close, like we can't. I
can get it from a mom perspective because when she went to San Antonio, like there was times where she would get sick, like the flu or something, and I would be there in 3 hours, like with medicine or like I could take her to the doctor, like things like that. But like a 10-hour, that's hard. Because you're not going to get there in the same business day. Like you're going to get there like the next day. Like what if there is an emergency or something?
And that was one of our arguments, was because like as a teenager, you don't really like listen to your mom like in that sense. You're kind of like, no, you're overreacting, blah, blah, blah. But like the more I started to think about it, she was right about it. And I just I understood her perspective also because like I'm the baby. Like for her, so she's like, "Oh, like you're leaving so far." Like, she was like, "I can't help you if you need my help. Like you're so far away." She's like, "I can leave, but I won't get there till 10 hours later." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I understand," and that's still one of our hardest conversations.
So has LSU been able to ease her mind at all in that sense? Like
at orientation, you take a parent and we branch out, obviously. So we go in our groups with the kids, and the parents stayed in the student union, and they had a panel of 2 parents and the 2 daughters. So their daughters became best friends in their dorms, and their parents became best friends because of their daughters. And my mom told me that the parents kind of just like talked to the parents and was like, it made her feel safer,
like more at ease.
Like she was telling me about it, that the parents like obviously like wanted to check on their daughter all the time, and like the parents were like, you really get used to talking to your daughter when it's usually at night, and they'll call you and they'll talk to you. Like just make sure you set up like, okay, I'm gonna text you good night,
like a consistent
so you know I'm
time. A consistent time.
And my mom was just kind of like, that made me feel a lot better about you coming here. And and obviously like her and all the other moms at orientation were crying while the parents and the daughters were talking about like leaving and everything. But it kind of eased my mind, like my mom's mind, a lot more than I would have expected.
And is your mom going to be able to have like your location of your phone?
I have never shared my location with my mom.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy because
she's never asked.
You know what? I have all my kids' location, and that's because my oldest is like 27, and then the youngest is 24. So like, and I have all their locations. But it's more because I just, moms. Once you're a mom, you're gonna know. Like, you first of all, you have mom anxiety, where like you just always fear the worst for your children. And sometimes like you don't want to bother them, but like just seeing where they're at, I'm like, okay, I'm at ease. I can go to sleep. Like,
but it's not always helpful.
My mom,
it's not always helpful because then you become kind of like, it makes it worse. Yeah, you shouldn't. I'm sorry.
I
know. I'm like,
I have very bad habit.
I've never shown my location to my mom because with my mom, if I don't give her a reason to not trust me, she'll have trust in me. And I've never given her a reason not to trust me. I've always been very open about what I'm doing and like what time I'm getting home and everything.
I know, but I don't think it's about the trust. I think it's just about like, what if something happens? Yeah. And like she can have your location.
And you know your location's in one spot for like
forever.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you a funny story.
Wait, what story are you saying?
The river.
Oh my gosh.
When she was in college, she lived in this apartment that was by the Riverwalk, and like I would always check her location just to kind of see, because she would get home really late at night with her serving job, and sometimes it was like 2 a.m. And like I could just never sleep. Like I just needed to know she was home safe, right? And then so like one night, I'm like checking, and like her location is literally in the middle of the river. And I was like, it stayed there for a really long time. And I was like, oh my God, is she like in the river? Like,
no, and mind you, every day she would text me like a new article, like, oh, 50-year-old woman dead on Riverwalk. And I'm like, really? Like, what are you doing to yourself? Like, like, oh, in North San Antonio, a man died. I'm like, Mom, I'm not even nowhere near there. Like, calm down. And it's just like natural causes too. Like there were a couple that were like stabbings and stuff, but like it was mainly natural causes. So I'm like, why are you going crazy?
Or or like this, like it would be like an apartment complex catches fire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, is it her apartment complex? Like I'm talking like really bad. And so, yeah. So then that night I was like, she wouldn't answer because she was asleep. So like the location pin was just like off. So like when you said that you were like wanting to, you wish you were prepared for like the feelings. What are some of, I guess, what's the feeling that has bothered you the most about all of this?
Feeling guilty.
Guilty about what?
Leaving.
Oh.
Like you want to be able to enjoy it.
I feel like that's kind of what's been like eating me up
because you are looking forward to leaving and you feel like you shouldn't feel.
Because I feel like a lot of people like are sad when they're about to leave, and I'm like really excited.
You're like, yeah, let's go.
So I feel like,
but that's a good thing. That's kind of like a good thing.
Yeah.
It's good and bad, I guess. It just depends how you look at it. But I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I just think for me, just leaving like behind like the people that I've known and everything, I feel like it makes me feel guilty because I always think about it from like an outside perspective, like looking in. So like a bunch of my family had like kind of made me feel bad about leaving. But I was really excited. So like I felt like guilty about leaving. And that's been kind of like the worst feeling I've had through all of this.
Yeah, I could see that.
And are you the first out of the family to like leave?
To leave like a far distance?
I'm the first to leave far. My brother didn't leave. He went to he's blue collar.
Oh,
so
okay.
he goes to Houston, but he comes back. He lives here. So like for me,
you
I'm
just
like
do jobs
leaving.
out there.
Yeah, like for me, I'm actually leaving, and yeah, I'm kind of.
But honestly, once that happens, it's gonna be cool for your family to like have a spot to go to. You know, like it's gonna be their new little vacation spot. Like there's a plus to it. I know it sucks at first. I mean, I don't know what it's like on the other side. I know what it's like being the one to leave, but I know whenever she finally got adjusted, she was like, okay, well, I'm going to San Antonio almost every weekend. And she was coming for like the games, you know, like it was something fun for her to, you know, do and like distract herself from like me being gone. So hopefully they could, you know, go up there more often or, you know, make time.
What are you hoping to like learn out of this or like grow from? Like how can you imagine yourself in a couple of years? Or I guess the question is, if you could imagine yourself in a couple of years, how do you hope you'll be with this experience?
I hope to have grown as a person, be more independent, just be a better me, basically. Yeah. I just
don't crash out.
I'm not. We're just gonna leave it. We lost our video. It's fine.
I just hope that I'm everything that I've always hoped to be when I'm older after all of this experience.
And it's your dream school, so I think it will. It's in it, like it's already it's looking good on you, and I don't even know. I didn't know you beforehand, you know, but you look very happy to go, and I feel like it's gonna be a good thing. So nothing but positive, I think.
Yeah.
Positive vibes.
Yeah, positive
exactly.
Vibes.
So like you haven't left yet, so we can't ask you about your experience so far, right? But like what advice do you give to people right now, like in the moment that are trying to choose their schools and maybe might be in that position where the parents are giving them like, you need to stay closer, but their heart is like farther away?
I would say have a really deep conversation with your parents. If you feel like it's in your grasp and that's where you really want to go, I always say it's worth a shot. If anything, if you don't like it, there's always the transfer portal. You can always come back. But
you got to try it.
Yeah, you have to try it. See if it's actually what you wanted and what you think it'll be. I think that's one of the reasons that has kept me like together.
Like you can come back.
I can always come back. You know, you
just got to try it.
Yeah, I feel like you have to try it to know that, okay, I don't want this anymore, or I want this, and just.
So your advice is try it out.
Just try it
and see where it goes. Wow.
Wait, so is your major like what Dexter does? Do you know Dexter?
The basis of him.
Oh, but like not like the killing part.
Yeah,
right?
Not the killing part, obviously.
Yeah. But Kind of, yeah. But my major is kind of questioning like basically Dexter, like the serial killers.
Oh, okay.
So that's my major, to like
you're gonna have so much fun
to analyze them as people and try to figure out like why they did what they did.
You better go see all the dance.
Oh, yes.
I met them when I went to Destination LSU. It was the best thing ever.
I know.
I took a picture with them.
Right?
I was like, oh my gosh.
I like watching their like routines. Oops, sorry. I like watching their routines.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, they're right there. And I was like, can I take a picture? And they're like, oh my gosh, yes. And I was like,
oh my god.
That's gonna be the fun part.
My dad was like,
I got so invested. Okay, I'm not even like a dancer, and like I don't watch dance. Like I'm more like I'll watch like the cheer competition. Like I never watch, but I'm so invested in LSU because like this year they're the ones that did that umbrella routine, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, there was so much drama.
They didn't win, right?
No,
No,
they didn't win.
because their umbrellas malfunctioned.
I think they got like 7th place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody was talking about like, y'all should have just left the umbrellas. Like that just killed the whole routine. But it was so nice.
But
like,
it was
a visual.
It was so pretty.
It was pretty.
That dance is so underrated.
I can't believe
really
they
like
got
it.
7th place.
I know.
Yeah. It was just it was more the umbrella. I think that kind of ruined it for them.
And there's so many good dance teams.
Hopefully you're friends with the dancer.
I know.
You're gonna make friends with one of them.
I commented on one of the girls' TikToks. Her name is Chuck. Well, it's like her nickname. And she liked my comment. And
You're like, oh my god.
I was like, oh my gosh.
You're like, see, mom, I'm gonna be.
Yes.
You just need to go stand outside the dance room.
I know.
Like,
Hey.
hey guys, what are we doing later? Just try to make friends with them.
So funny, yeah.
That'll be
You
so
never
much
know.
fun.
You never know. You might have class with one of them, and then you're
Maybe.
like
Hopefully.
besties. You know.
Well, we wish you the best, and we hope you find all the happiness in Louisiana, and we hope you post because I follow you, so I want to see I want to see all the stuff. I want to see like a swamp. Like, please post a swamp. Let me see what else.
Mardi Gras, right?
Mardi Gras.
Oh my gosh! Wait, is that where Alex Earl's sister goes? Or no, she goes to something else, right?
I think she goes to something else, yeah.
But in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I always
But
see like
it's-
them going like crazy
But
for
it's
Mardi Gras.
It's Mardi Gras, yeah. I'm really excited.
How fun!
Yeah, but be careful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
heard.
we'll be watching you.
I heard there's vampires on Bourbon Street.
There is. I saw a TikTok.
Yeah, so be
I've
careful.
never heard that.
Yeah.
Okay, you need
We're
to
all
search
scaring
it.
her.
I'm like,
She's like, maybe I don't want to go. Yeah, there was a TikTok of this girl who stayed at an Airbnb in Louisiana, and they told her not to open the door for anybody or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then like she ended up, I don't know. You need to watch it. Just search it.
Okay.
Yeah,
But be
just search
careful. Don't become a vampire.
I always draw.
it. Or if you want to, that's fine too. If you want to become a vampire, become a vampire.
Find her Edward Cullen.
Oh my gosh. I've never watched Twilight.
What? Oh,
It's my mom's favorite movie, but I've never watched it.
Maybe
But I know
you should watch it with her before you leave.
I know all the
as a
lore.
gift.
yeah.
Like Bella.
Yeah.
Where have you been, Loca?
Yeah, where you been, Loca? That's funny.
Anyway, thanks for coming on the podcast,
thank you.
and we wish you the best, and we'll be watching you. So I apologize for the technical difficulties. There's no video right now at this moment. But if you're listening to us on Spotify, please rate our episode and follow us or subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like it and subscribe to our channel. And we will see you again next week. Bye.
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 I was yawning. Sorry.
You don't have to wave.
Oh, yeah.
There's no video.
Bye, guys.